Positive thinking is one of the cutest and most superficial ideas there are. It is based on the idea that our thoughts create the situations in our lives. Therefore, its key dogma: positive thoughts create positive situations in our lives. I ask you please the opportunity to show you a different perspective. Positive thinking is superficial because it preaches that thoughts alone determine our lives. However, positive thinking ignores emotions, feelings, intuitions, corporeal sensations, and memories. Positive thinking ignores something even more important: the actions of the unconscious mind and the transcendental within you. In the last videos of this series, you will see that positive thinking is totally incompatible with the teachings of the Jungian psychology of Carl Jung. I'm Cavalher. Positive thinking makes the same mistake the Western civilization has been making for a few centuries already, taking thought for consciousness. It seems that things are only conscious if they are thought. However, you know you are in love with your boyfriend without having to think about it. At least, I hope so. Emotions and feelings do not need thoughts to become conscious. The Jungian Psychology by Carl Jung shows that thoughts are a small part of consciousness. Feelings, intuitions, and corporeal sensations are also parts. Memories, emotions, and many other things are also related to consciousness. Believing that thoughts alone determine your life situations is believing that a fire lit in Ireland determines the weather of the whole Atlantic Ocean. By mistaking thoughts for the entire consciousness, positive thinking proves to be very superficial. Although consciousness is way bigger than thoughts, it is still a very small part of the human being. Jungian psychology teaches that the unconscious mind is much bigger than consciousness. This is the old iceberg metaphor. This is consciousness. Underneath consciousness lies the unconscious mind. It's easy to see the existence of the unconscious mind. The unconscious is what you do not know. Which one is bigger, consciousness or the unconscious mind? That's something very easy to answer. Are there more things you know or more things you do not know in the universe? If your answer is that there are more things you do not know, you are saying that there are more unconscious things than conscious things. If your answer is that there are more things you do know, you are a little megalomaniac. Things you do not know, things you are unconscious of, interfere in your life all the same. Sometimes you do not know why, but you are angry at your colleague and want to argue. Sometimes you do not know why you just don't like someone. You are unconscious of the causes, but the outcome is the same. Sometimes you do not know why you are just not in love with your wife anymore and you want to divorce. Things we do not know have concrete effects in our lives. Here is another way of saying the same thing. The unconscious mind causes concrete things in our lives. The unconscious mind is the boss. Given the immensity and the power of the unconscious mind, believing that your thoughts alone determine your life situations is believing that a fire lit in Ireland determines the weather of the whole planet Earth. If you want to know more about how the unconscious mind causes concrete situations in our lives, watch the suggested video. Note that I have spoken about consciousness and the unconscious mind, but I have not yet mentioned the soul, the transcendental, the divine one within you. Without having to discuss the complex concepts of the Jungian psychology or of the paradigm of sense on the topic already on this video, answer these questions intuitively. Is it you who tell the transcendental, the divine one within you, what to do? Or is it the transcendental, the divine within yourself that determines what happens in your life? before the unsurmountable power of the Transcendental. Believing that your thoughts alone determine the situations in your life is believing that a fire lit in Ireland defines what happens at the sun. By mistaking the thought with the whole human psychological structure, positive thinking goes beyond superficiality. It proves to be madness. Believing that thoughts alone determine your life situations is a complete illusion. Illusions are by no means harmless. Illusions are extremely dangerous. Illusions imprison your consciousness. Illusions are convictions. Convictions that imprison you in illusory realities. This illusion imprisons you in which reality? Positive thinking imprisons you in an arrogant reality. You feel entitled to determine everything that happens in your life using your thoughts only. Your soul, the transcendental power within you, has no influence over your life. You feel capable of eliminating all the emotions, all the feelings, all the intuitions, and all the corporeal sensations and all their effects. Look at this absurd statement of Napoleon Hill, the creator of the positive thinking. Who is this person who can eliminate parts of the human psychological structure just because he wants it? God, maybe? The same thing could be said about feelings, intuitions, and corporeal sensations. We can't disrespect our nature and eliminate parts of our own structure just because we feel like doing it. Choosing to ignore something doesn't make that thing disappear. For instance, ignoring the mechanisms of the economy does not make the economy disappear. When positive thinking teaches to focus onto positive thoughts only and, for instance, to ignore negative emotions, these emotions do not cease to exist. They solely become unconscious, but they will have effects all the same. Everybody is going to see your negative emotions, except you. You will be making a fool of yourself. That's all. When we try to be only positive and to show other people only our positive sides while sweeping negative sides under the carpet, we are hiding the truth. We are being hypocritical. Positive thinking imprisons you in a reality of hypocrisy. Osho also says that positive thinking promotes hypocrisy. There's a link in the description to that if you're interested. Do not allow this illusion to imprison you. Leave it behind. Destroying illusions is an act of courage, because destroying illusions is destroying convictions that you publicly stood for and seeing the life you have built on this illusion collapse. Destroying illusions is liberating because it opens the access to new realities. In this new reality, you understand that both positive and negative things reveal to you important parts of yourself. You overcome the need to see yourself and to show others that you are exclusively good. You prefer to be whole. In this new reality, you realize that thought is but a small part of something much wider, your consciousness. You realize that your consciousness is pretty small when compared to the unconscious mind. You realize that transcendence is even greater than your unconscious mind. In this reality, you give up trying to control life and having everything your way. You find out that spirituality is experiencing the things your soul, the transcendental power within you, brings into your life. You give up wanting that only the things you consider to be positive happen in your life and understand that you are bigger than that. You understand that the transcendental power manifests itself in every possible way, should they be positive or negative. You give up being God and decide to be simply human. Positive thinking makes you think that you and your life must be only positive if you want to grow spiritually. But the Jungian psychology shows that the spiritual development includes evil. We'll discuss that in the next video. Stay tuned.